Nicole, and today I'm going to be spilling the tea on all things Greece, how myself and 3 other girls who didn't know each other ended up traveling together and got on way more boats than we were supposed to. So we're going to delve into kind of the cinematics of it, set the scene, tell the story, and then I'm going to end off with some travel tips and ideas that you can incorporate into your Greece travels. And if you like what you see, please subscribe and let me know any questions you have about Greece travel as well as Europe, because I'm doing a whole series. My friend Eliza and I were working and surfing from Costa Rica, and then we were eating burritos, which were the best ones I've ever had, by the way, with plantains in them. Amazing. And then I checked good old Facebook, and on Facebook there was this post in like this girls travel group, and they were looking for a 4th girl to come on a trip to Greece. Everything was planned out. I got this email and I was like, whoa, someone in this group is a planner, because they literally have every single ferry, every single museum, every sort of activity you could imagine, all jam-packed into 2 weeks. And I kind of put it on the back burner and said, hey, I'm going to apply, but like there's probably other girls, so like if everyone else backs out, then I'll take it as a sign like I really want to go. And I was planning on going to Europe, but I hadn't made my ticket yet and I wasn't sure what time frame, so I left a little bit earlier and got to go on this trip. Got to Athens, explored around the city, saw a lot of the museums. I recommend there's like a group museum pass that you can get. My face was an absolute wreck after 3 days straight of in and out of airports. So the first night I stayed in a dorm room, and then the second night I stayed in a room with the rest of the girls because they arrived a night later than I did. It was so tiny. Ended up going to a lot of museums and of course having gelato. Highly recommend you try the gelato in Europe. It's so good. Got up at like 3 or 4 in the morning and went for this sunrise flight. So we're at the airport. We finally made it to the gates where we're supposed to check in our bags. We got dropped off at the other end of the terminal, so we like scurried across here once we figured out where it was. And then we got picked up half an hour late because our taxi didn't come. Words to our first stop, Mykonos. This idea, and she was like, hey, I think I'm going to get on this app. And then she was like, we should all get on this app because then we can get on boats. This sounds so bad, but what we actually did was we were super straightforward with people. We were like, hey, we're a group of 4 girls and we're looking to get on some boats, would love to hang out with some folks, and one of us is a photographer, can take your photos. So that's kind of how we introed it. Greece was incredible, and I highly recommend, if you get the chance or if you're thinking about it, planning it, book the trip because it's incredible. Bluest water I've ever seen in my whole life. And now I'm going to talk you through some of the tips that I would like to have known or recommend. First is pack light. I know that I thought like, oh, well, I'll just pack like my day bag lighter because I travel with media gear. It's heavy. Well, it turns out that you want to pack way lighter than you would think, because once you get especially to the Greek islands, you're going to be lugging everything through cobblestone streets to get to your Airbnb or place that you're staying that cars can't even reach. So I think we all like definitely damaged the wheels of our bags because we're literally lugging them up and down cobblestone streets and through stairs. And then SIM cards. I would recommend doing one through like Cosmote or Vodaphone or something similar to that. Mine was like a special, it was like 10 euros for the whole month. So the whole month I was in Greece, I got to pay 10 euros and had unlimited data. Keep your phone and wallet close. This goes to say with all travel, especially solo travel or like international travel, you want to make sure you know where your phone and wallet are. If you have one of those side bags, that's easy to steal or take stuff out of. I recommend like a crossbody bag. You can see like in most of my videos I'm wearing it. I still wear it like all the time. It's just so practical. I thought Athens food was actually better and way more affordable than the island food. There was a really good hero place. Yeah, it looks like gyro, but it's pronounced hero place in Oya. That was good, and it was like $4 or $5 for a dinner, which was great. We split Airbnbs. Our first area was like a hostel type thing, but it was a shared room that we did, which was cheaper than staying individually in the hostel, so we just did that. And then the rest of the time it worked out economically better to split Airbnbs, and also it was more secure for our stuff, it felt like. There are a few hostels, I just personally didn't get the chance to check them out. Book your ferries in advance. They fill up, especially over summer and like prime time. The ferries are generally late, but arrive early just in case. Transport from the ferry terminal, you're going to pay an upcharge, so if you walk a couple streets away in either direction, you could have even like something as crazy as like half the price for your fee for transport. Bag storage at accommodation can save you, and then there's like a cafe in the Mykonos area that will like store your bags for a couple bucks, so if you can't check in till later, that's a good option. Look for things like that. And that one was close to the ferry. Bag fees, we booked through Voleta Air, which is like an economy airline. I don't know if I said it right, but it was like the flight itself was cheap, but then the bag fees are expensive, so make sure you weigh out your bag because it's really confusing the way they have it. So you end up paying way more for baggage than you do for your actual flight. About the islands, let's go through each of them. So Mykonos is more like a party island. It's very much party vibe. Like if you wake up early in the morning, you're gonna have the whole place to yourself. Like no one even starts to move. It feels silent until like 11 a.m. Most places are closed too. But if you want to get those photos, it's a great time to do so. A lot of people go like designer shopping. There's literally like Dior and like all these, I can't even think of the names, like all these fancy brands, and essentially you can get the receipts from those. And one of the girls I was traveling with, she got a bag from one of these designer bag places, and it ends up being like $300 or $400 US less because she bought it overseas and it's duty free. Santorini, Oya is where you want to stay for those beautiful blue domes and the beautiful white city. There's other areas you can stay that are more affordable, but I would say if you're there for just a couple nights, just go ahead and stay in Oya. You'll thank yourself so you're not running across the island all the time. And then couples is definitely the target market there. It's like a bunch of people go there for honeymoons and like just couples trips. Naxos is more laid back, kind of more local, more chill. I like that a lot. Milos was definitely a mission to get there. It's definitely the furthest down of the island, so I'd recommend making it later in your trip if you're hopping to multiple islands. Flights get canceled from wind and weather. So while it was pelting sand at us, we didn't realize till the day of that our ferry was getting canceled, and everyone was like freaking out. And we had a flight that next day, so we were hoping that our flight wouldn't get canceled. Every single flight that day got canceled. Thankfully ours took off. I don't know how it happened, but we're just super thankful. A lot of people speak English, but Google Translate helps, especially if you're going more local. Our itinerary. So we budgeted originally $13.50 per person, but not including our flights there, our food, or Uber or other additional rides. We included like our basic accommodation, like our place we were staying. We included in that our different tourist attractions and boats and things that we had paid for, different activities. And then we also included in that our ferries. So that's what the general ballpark is. And then it depends on your taste for food, because you can go to the grocery store, spend a couple bucks, you can go to street food, a couple bucks, or you can go bougie and you can go to some nice places. And I recommend like a good mix of it. Enjoy yourself, but if you're on a budget, you can do it too. We stayed at Selina CoWork in Athens for 2 nights. Then for our museums, we did a combo ticket. It's just through the museum website, and you can get like access to pretty much all the architectural areas and like history. And then Acropolis Museum is separate, but I highly recommend it. I think it's like 10 or 12 euro. And then after 2 nights in Selina, CoWork Athens, we headed over to Mykonos. That was our first island. Then we stayed there for 2 nights. The sunset at the windmills was definitely a highlight. Then we took a ferry to Naxos the next day, and we spent 4 full days there. The ferry company we used was Jet Ferries. That's one of the main ones there. Just be careful not to get scammed, because there's a couple scams out there, but Jet is the legit one. Then we took a ferry to Santorini, stayed there for 4 nights. Then we spent 2 nights in Milos, and we did a wine tour in Santorini. We thought that it meant you would go around to a bunch of wineries and have like food and drink like all day, but they just took you to like a viewpoint, and then they take you to like one winery, and that's it. And I would say for that cost, it's pretty expensive for what it was. And I'm not even like a big drinker or anything, so it was kind of like, oh, like I'm just there because my friends are there. But I didn't really think it was worth it, and neither did they, because it was only one winery, and it kind of misrepresented it, because we thought it was multiple, but there was only one. And then Get Your Guide was where we found a lot of our activities, and the catamaran that we did was really good. Way more people than we expected, but still it was super fun. And then we spent 1 night in Athens after we went to Milos. Milos, we did another sailboat touring thing. There were only like 12 to 14 people on that boat, which was incredible. Highly recommend that. And yeah, if you have any other questions about Greece, I would love to try and answer. I highly recommend it. I definitely want to go back there at some point, if that goes to show like how good and incredible it is. And I'm just super thankful that I took the plunge and just went for it. And it was such an incredible time. Hey guys, welcome to the video for Nikiko Surfer's vlog. We are her friends and roommate, and we love her. Yes. She's the best. Follow her, like and subscribe. Yes. Comment down below what you want to see next, and we'll definitely get that to you guys. All right, have a good snorkel. Thank you.